Hello there, happy crafters. This is Claudia with White Sugar Designs, and today I'm working on a DIY little project here for you guys. I was just showing you my 12 by 12 album that the pocket, pages that I've been using. And next year I've decided to switch to a 6 by 12 album. Right there I'm showing you all the pages that I just recently got from Becky Higgins. These were on sale and I was super excited about it. The only thing though is that they did not have a 6 by 12 album. But no worries. As DIYers and makers, right, we always find a way to make our own stuff, and this is what this little video is all about. I'm going to show you how I turn this 12 by 12 album by American Crafts into a 6 by 12 album that's going to fit all my pages. That page that I was just working on, it's actually even an odd size. That's a 12 by 7. That little grid paper right there is a 4 by 4 inch, and the little snapshots is a 4 by 3. So it's a 12 by 7. So I'm using that one because it's the widest. I'm showing you how wide that album is and also how wide the spine is. And I love that. I love that it can expand a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm figuring out, well, how much am I gonna cut off of this chipboard album? And I'm measuring from the spine. You can see it right there. You can see the spine and then the page itself, which is 15 inches wide, which is 3 inches wider than a 12 by 12 page. So I've decided to use the 7 by 12 as my guide since it's the widest, and I decide to measure and cut the album to be 11 inches wide. And I think, by putting the page in there, it was very obvious that the page would fit there perfectly, even if it moved. So let's see. So I'm measure twice, cut once, right? But I not only measure what I'm going to cut, you see right there, I'm measuring the part that I'm going to be cutting off to make sure that it is the same distance the entire length, just to make sure that the ruler was straight and I didn't, skew the line where I'm going to cut. And then on the back of it, I'm using the other side of the spine to measure. And once you measure, the cover, just use the same measurements for the back. And so again, from the spine I go 11 inches, and then I mark it, and then I go back and measure the part that I'm going to cut off to make sure that I lined it up correctly. I'm going to be using this self-healing mat to cut. And there, American Craft. It's I found this one on I'm sorry, not this one. I had this album, and so what I did is I took the pages that were in it, and then I ordered a new one from Amazon, which I already received. So I'm using that mat to line up the cover so that I can, I cut straight, and then I'm gonna start cutting, and fingers crossed that I do it right. But I do it right, because if I didn't, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. So that's your clue. I did do it right, and it did work. So can you notice that I'm wearing a sweater? Okay, because I'm working next to the window, and it was just a little, I always get super chilly for just, so, and then I'm cutting, and I sped up this little section here because I didn't want you to have to watch me, because it took a long time. It's pretty thick chipboard, and I have to stretch my hands, and I'm seeing if I went through already, but I haven't. So I set it back up and go back at it again, and by now you totally skipped that, and it's almost ready, but I don't want to tear it off because, oh wait, look, the sweater is off. because it's hot now. I totally got hot. It was totally a big workout cutting this thing, but it's totally fine. And so I kept on scoring and cutting, and my hands were sweating. You know, I have that hyperhidrosis. It's been the pain my entire life, and as a crafter it sucks, but hey, if that was the hand that I was dealt, I will take it. And there I finally cut through. Yay! And I will spare you the pain of watching me do the other side, or maybe I do let you see it. I don't remember. I am pretty sure I speed it up, but oh, look, I am not using a ruler because once you get going, the chipboard is so thick that it creates a groove, and you can just keep using your X-Acto knife and go over that. And just make sure you'll feel it when you cut through all the way. So don't rush it. You just need to cut through rather than try to tear it up, because you know that can damage the chipboard. And so I was checking, make sure I did everything right, and you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to reuse this for something else, but so clean all the dust, and then there is some sanding to be done, because as much as you know you try and you work, and if you're, you know, I mean, I'm almost a perfectionist, that's what people tell me, but so if you're even more careful than I was, you're still gonna have to sand it, because you know I did get a little bit of a corner that was a little bit higher than the page, than one side, so I used that little sanding block to make it even. So right now I'm testing out the pages, make sure that they fit correctly. Use the widest one, and then the 6x12. Like I said, they come in different, you know, they have design A, B, C, D, and I can't remember what these ones are, but there's one that's just a full page. It's like a 6x12. It's just one pocket, and it fit perfect. So I was giving myself the thumbs up there. And so now I'm going to use my little sanding block to make sure I just have everything even. And that's what I'm doing there. And I muted everything, but not here. Can you hear it? That's what you would have heard. But I was nice and I took that out. And so just take your time with that, just to make it, you know, you're gonna cover it, obviously, right? You can see that this is where we're headed. We're gonna cover it, but still, you know, let's do a good job, right? And what else can I do? I told you I got this at Amazon. The pages I got from Becky Higgins, and I'm gonna be using this one for my 2018 project page, Project Life, I'm sorry, my Project Life album. See how that goes. So I'm trying to choose paper, and even though I had two to choose from, I ended up choosing the very pretty and simple polka dot one, and I'm going to use this beautiful flower from, this is a sheet of paper from, I think it's called Love Story, and it's from Webster's pages. And I need to stock up on more of those, because I swear I use those flowers in a lot of my layouts, because they're just so beautiful. So there, the paper that I was using to cover the cover is there another way of saying that? No, can't think of any other way to cover the cover. The paper is a 12x12, but the album is wider and taller than a 12x12, so I had to cut a little strip there to make sure I cover the entire cover. and And I'm using that little paper punch to make the album even, because it kind of slants downwards and I wanted to have it be even. And what I'm doing there is I wanted to cover the edge, because chipboard, it can start peeling off, the layers can start like flipping up. And so I used the whitest washi tape that I had, and pretty much I'm gonna cover it in a second, but you'll be able to see it from the inside. But I use that washi tape to seal in that raw edge, and that's what I'm doing there. And I do it on both sides, and you get the idea. I don't know if I show you the other side, but so I'm getting everything ready. And here is something hilarious. No, it's not hilarious. It was like a duh moment. So I knew it was gonna decoupage. And what's wrong with that picture? It's gesso. Claudia, it's gesso. Go ahead, girl, shake it. Shake it. And then look what I do. Smear it. Smear the gesso on a decoupage project, Claudia. But then I stopped. And I go, what the heck am I doing? So luckily I got it. And so I wipe it off. I pick up as much of the gesso because we don't waste anything, right? No. Yes, that one. Duh. Ay, ay, ay. So I wipe it off. Luckily, I caught it right away. It wasn't dried. I didn't put a lot. And so it was no big deal. So then I grab the correct bottle of decoupage, and I proceed to decoupage the paper. Just like a good painter that I am. I've painted so many darn houses. I have some of that blue tape everywhere. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to damage that cloth, because that black strip there it's almost like it's not quite canvas, but it's fabric. So I used that tape to make sure I wasn't gonna get the I keep wanting to say gesso, the decoupage on that fabric strip. So, and then like with any decoupage project, you put the paper on, and then you try as best you can to try and avoid having bubbles and little pockets, and it's always going to happen, but I do my best there to make sure it's completely covered and sealed and stuck really well. And I try to make that seam between that little piece of paper there as nice as possible. And then I'm gonna keep it simple, pretty and simple, and just add that one little, is it a spray of flower? Is that what it's called? A little, bouquet there. And just stick those really well. I mean, obviously it's flat, so it's not gonna be intrusive when you stack your albums next to other albums and things like that. And with the decoupage, it should be pretty protected there. So that's what's going on there. The brush left a little bit of strokes. It's very bristly. I'm using some fancy words today. Bristly? Is that even a real word? But you know what I mean? So you see there's a few little bubbles there, and the decoupage wasn't, or the paper wasn't adhering really well, but it's totally fine. The brush strokes you couldn't see them when I finished with the project, and it added a little bit of texture, if anything. So, but it turned out okay. So this is the second time that I'm doing this voiceover, because the first time I just kept on talking and it got to the end and I didn't get to say the last few things. So I'm gonna start saying my goodbyes now, because I don't want to run out of time again, out of video. So it's coming to the end here, you guys. I'm just drying up the decoupage. I hope you found this video useful. again, you can find these albums in American Craft. Oh, but wait a minute. Here's what happened. My friend called me and told me, guess what? Hobby Lobby carries 6x12, so the joke's on you, Claudia. But hey, you know what? I love this one. I made it look pretty and I'm happy with it. And so, hey, I have two now because, yeah, of course I went and got one. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I will put links of everything that I've used here. You know, if it was useful, which I hope it was, give it a thumbs up. I hope you follow me for more funny videos of my messing up with tools and decoupage and gesso. So guys, thanks again. Until next time. Yay, it worked. Get your crafty on. Bye.